hell?
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Today's compilation is certainly going to have you at the edge of your seats and wanting more. Ready? Well, let's jump right in. Let's start the day with this bizarre footage, a cat with wings. It's so fascinating and strange at the same time. The cat has grown a pair of what appear to be wings on its sides. The wings were small in size with a furry texture that perfectly matched the fur on the cat's body. It was as if the wings were a natural part of the cat's anatomy. But since when do cats have wings? I wonder if some kind of genetic modification might be at play here. It's possible that the cat's DNA was altered through some kind of experimental breeding or gene therapy. Skeptics doubt that the wings on the cat are real and believe that they're just accessories that have been attached to the cat. They speculate that the wings have been customized to match the cat's fur because they fit so perfectly. But what do you think this is? A mutant cat or a cat in a costume?
What the hell?
Just as we got the pride blanket out.
That too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
Double rainbow.
It's for pride.
Double rainbow.
In this intriguing footage, a group of people captured a fascinating patch of clouds in the sky. The clouds were colorful and rainbow-hued, which made for a striking sight. It was a unique and beautiful phenomenon that left many people in awe. The cause of this phenomenon, however, remains a mystery, and naturally, there have been several theories trying to point out and explain what may have caused it. Some speculation that the rainbow-colored clouds could be a result of chemical pollutants in the sky, which could reflect the light uniquely. Other experts suggest that this could be a natural occurrence caused by the refraction of sunlight through ice crystals in the clouds. Regardless of the cause, this rainbow-colored cloud formation in the sky is an impressive sight to behold. Wouldn't you agree?
That is amazing.
The gays are jumping out.
The deep sea is one of the most unexplored and mysterious places on Earth. Recently, a deep-sea camera captured footage of a black, gooey creature at a depth of 6,000 feet. The footage has left scientists and oceanographers puzzled as they're unable to identify the creature and properly understand its characteristics. The creature appears to be a black, gooey blob with no discernible features or appendages. Some speculate that it could be a type of deep-sea jellyfish or a new species altogether. However, without more information, it's difficult to draw any conclusions. One of the main concerns about this creature is whether it poses any danger to humans or other sea creatures, since there is not much information on it. Have you seen anything like this? Care to share your experience? Do you sometimes feel that the universe we live in is not real? Does it sometimes feel like we're all living in a computer simulation like the Matrix? If you've experienced these feelings and thoughts, you aren't the only one. Thousands have felt this way, and our next clip is one of the reasons people believe it. The footage shows what appears to be a tree floating from the forest towards a town. Initially, people thought it was an edited video, but upon closer examination, the shadow of the tree on the ground indicates that it was a real occurrence. This raises the question of how a tree can float like that. Was it a mistake, or was it something supernatural like a possessed tree? There is still a lot of speculation about what could have caused this phenomenon. Some people suggest it might have been caused by a strong wind or a freak accident, while others propose that it could be a supernatural occurrence. Whatever the case may be, this incident has left many people scratching their heads, wondering if there is more to our world than meets the eye. There has been a recent sighting of a perplexing entity in the sky. According to eyewitnesses, the entity initially appeared as a tiny dot in the sky. After a closer examination of the recorded footage, they realized it transformed into an unusual and intriguing shape. The shape of this entity sparked discussions among various groups, with some speculating that it could be an angel. This speculation is based on the descriptions of angels in the Bible, which some thought had a similar appearance to this entity. However, there is no concrete evidence to support this claim, and the true nature of the entity remains a mystery. What do you think of it? While exploring the waters, someone stumbled upon these two intriguing fish. They were pitch black and had a peculiar growth on their head that resembled a brain. Wondering what this fish could be? Well, these little guys are called the black Aranda goldfish, and the brain-like growth on their head is called a fleshy wen, which is a characteristic feature of this fish species. These magnificent beings are a highly sought-after variety of goldfish that have a distinct charm due to their black coloration and unique head growth. The black Aranda goldfish is renowned for its gentle and peaceful nature and has become a beloved pet of many aquarium enthusiasts. On second thought, I think this is slightly different from the black Aranda goldfish. Have any of you owned or seen one? What do you think? During a horseback ride in the woods, a group of men came across a mysterious creature. The creature was small in size, but it had dark fur and a long, furry tail. As they approached, the creature hid behind a leafy plant, making it difficult to see its features. Suddenly, without warning, the creature leapt out from behind the plant and attacked one of the men on the horses. Observers speculated that it could be an anteater, given its long snout. However, we couldn't be sure, as the creature's appearance was unlike anything they had seen before. What say you guys? While peering through a clear glass window, a woman noticed something peculiar in the water. She decided to get a closer look and zoomed in with a camera. To her surprise, a group of men were sitting on a table seemingly in the middle of the sea.
Представляете, люди готовятся на ифтар под водой.
The sight is baffling. How could such a thing be possible? Some people have suggested that it might be a reflection from the room on the glass window, but this raises more questions than it answers. How could a reflection in a room create such a convincing illusion of men sitting on a table in the sea? Kindly hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Doing so lets you stay updated and allows us to create more videos for you. Thanks for doing so. Now, let's continue with the day's episode. In recent times, there has been a rather peculiar phenomenon observed in the sky. Witnesses have reported sightings of a bright ball of light appearing out of nowhere, followed by a strange stroke of light emanating from it. The stroke of light seems to be highly intense, almost as if it is being projected towards a specific location. In one instance, the stroke of light was observed descending towards the Earth's surface. The nature of this phenomenon is still unknown and has left many people wondering if it is a natural occurrence or if there is something more sinister at play. Scientists and experts have yet to come up with a definitive explanation for this mysterious occurrence. Some have suggested that it could be a result of atmospheric conditions, while others believe that it could be related to extraterrestrial activity. What do you think this could be? Take a look at this video and share your thoughts on what you see. The footage shows an intriguing sight that has sparked a lot of debate. At first glance, it appears to be something wriggling on the surface of the water, but upon closer examination, it becomes clear that this mysterious object has wings that are flapping as it hovers just above the water before taking off to perch on a nearby tree. The object in question is white and long, and it's unclear what it could be. Some people believe it's a small bird that's gotten tangled up in plastic, while others suggest it might be a rubber worm. However, the fact that it can fly seems to rule out the latter option. Another theory is that the object is a bird that has just captured something from the water. It's fascinating to see how people are interpreting this video in different ways. What are your thoughts on what this object could be? An intriguing event was captured on camera by an unknown person. From the footage, we see a strange light suddenly appear in the clouds, and just as quickly as it appeared, it disappears. Upon closer inspection, the light seemed to be emanating from a craft of some kind, which was not visible to the naked eye. The light appeared to be hovering in the sky and then vanished in the blink of an eye, leaving many to wonder if it could be a case of a cloaked UFO. The incident has sparked a great deal of discussion and debate among those who believe in extraterrestrial life and UFO sightings. What's your take on the clip? Remember my talk about living in a simulation with glitches? Well, here's another. The clip starts off like your everyday not-so-extraordinary clip. A few seconds in, and it becomes apparent that things just don't add up. First off, not all the animals have shadows, and as the pups are playing, one runs into another one of the pups and just disappears on impact. It's almost as though it was being absorbed, which should not be possible. I'm not a science genius, but I'm pretty sure that's not how physics works. Anyways, what's your take on this? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Have you ever been in a situation where you feel like someone or something is watching you? It's a very unsettling feeling that can leave you feeling uneasy and uncomfortable. Now, imagine looking through a broken wall and finding a pair of eyes staring directly at you. The sense of unease and discomfort would be amplified even further. Someone found this eye looking back at them through a wall. It's difficult to determine what kind of creature could be behind this eye. Is it a normal animal or a cryptid that is yet to be discovered? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Take a look at this picture. A man captured his foot in the prints made by a creature. Guess what creature it is? While Sasquatch is known for its large footprints, the track captured in this picture appears to be even bigger than that. It appears to have been made by a Kodiak bear, one of the largest species of bear in the world. Kodiak bears are native to Alaska and are known for their enormous size, which can range from 800 to 1,500 pounds and can stand over 10 feet tall when on their hind legs. Their footprints are among the largest of all land animals, measuring up to 14 inches in length and 8 inches in width. So it's no surprise that the track captured in this picture is truly impressive and likely made by a Kodiak bear. I know you're waiting for the next clip, but my new friend Bigfoot asked me to ask you if you've liked and subscribed yet. If you haven't, please do so now, or I'll send him after you. This fascinating video has been circulating online, showcasing a peculiar object floating in the sky. The object, which is unlike anything seen before, has sparked a great deal of curiosity among viewers. Some people believe that it could be an interdimensional entity visiting our world, while others argue that it's simply a piece of debris floating in the sky. The video has prompted a lot of debate, with people from all over the world trying to decipher what the object could be. It's a mystery that is yet to be solved, and the possibilities are endless. What are your thoughts on this matter? Would you release a dinosaur into the wild if you had one? Well, my answer will most likely be no, but this dude is no ordinary person. We don't know how, but he appears to be in possession of a pet dinosaur. If you were to ask me the oddest thing a person could keep as a pet, a dinosaur would be the last thing on my mind. Not because it's not odd, but, well, because it's the last thing you would expect anyone to keep. Also, they're extinct, which makes this piece of footage even more surprising. How do you think he got himself a dinosaur? Have you ever come across a rather large bird that appears to be tied up after being prepared? If your answer was no, you might wonder what this is and why it's being prepared in such a way. Upon closer inspection, it looks as though the bird is being drained of blood before being cooked. The size of the bird is quite remarkable, as it's much larger than a typical turkey. Some people speculate that it might be an ostrich due to its size and appearance, but it's difficult to say for sure. Others think it's some goat-bird hybrid, but that doesn't add up. An ostrich sounds more believable at this point. But I'll let you guys decide on this one. What do you think this mysterious bird could be? While sitting at the edge of a swamp, an observer noticed a peculiar creature emerging from beneath the surface. At first, the creature was difficult to make out, but as the observer zoomed in, they could see that it had two long fangs protruding out of its mouth, making it look like the sharp teeth of a saber-toothed tiger. The creature swam with ease, effortlessly moving through the water and making hardly a sound. Its face had a menacing look that could give you nightmares for years. What kind of creature could this be? This next incident has unlocked a new fear in me. It involves a snake that was found in a toilet, and it's unclear how the snake managed to get there. Some speculate that the snake may have climbed into the toilet, while others believe it may have come up through the drains. Unfortunately, the exact cause of the snake appearance remains unknown. When the homeowner discovered the snake, they immediately called for help. A group of uniformed men arrived at the scene and attempted to remove the snake. However, the reptile seemed to be stuck, and the men were unable to extract it from the toilet bowl. As a result, they had to remove the entire toilet before they could finally remove the snake. Oh, the thought of a snake appearing in such an unexpected place is enough to make anyone double-check before using the toilet. Have you ever had such an experience? Share it with us in the comments section. Going back to North England, we have this trail cam capture from September 2010 that we'd like you to see. A man living in the area had been noticing the apples in his orchard were getting stolen, and he couldn't tell how. To get to the bottom of it, he installed a trail cam, and it captured what you see on your screen. Initially, he couldn't tell what he was looking at, but after a while, he realized it was a giant creature picking an apple from the ground. It's a hairy giant, almost like a giant ape. But that's where it gets odd, because there are no apes in New England. It took a while, but the owner of the footage soon realized it actually potentially captured a Sasquatch. Looking at the features in the image, although blurry, it has to be, right? Tell us what you think. If you were wowed by the circus trio, this will blow your mind. I don't know what scientists are cooking up in their labs, but this is very suspicious. Someone managed to capture an insect, and you won't believe what they found. It had the number 36 branded on it. Unless you have an explanation for insects getting numbers tattooed on them, this worries me and is quite frankly scary. Is this some kind of lab-generated insect, or a spy insect with the designation Agent 036? Or is it merely a fake? Initially, I was skeptical and thought it might be fake, but then another person shared footage of a smaller insect with similar markings. Could these insects be artificially created due to a scarcity of insects capable of performing specific functions, or are the scientists involved in something else entirely? Share your thoughts in the comments section. It's fascinating how mysteries of the ocean often captivate our imagination. In this footage, a curious observer capturing the beauty of the ocean stumbled upon an intriguing sight. Far beyond the shore, something was seen moving rapidly in the sea. The movement was too swift to be your typical fish and seemed to follow a straight trajectory. This looks like some sort of craft. Some people say it might be a submarine, but the strange thing seems to be moving on the surface, assuming regular submarine behavior is questionable. On the other hand, more imaginative voices suggest it could be an alien spacecraft. What do you think? On the shores of an unidentified location, a mysterious and strange creature lies washed up on the shore. This creature is hard to categorize with its pale skin, round head, and a mix of features that seem both human-like and aquatic. It has hands that look like a human's with 4 claw-like fingers, while its lower half transforms into a fish-like shape. The creature is pretty as well. The puzzling nature of this creature leaves observers wondering where it came from and how it got to the shore. What combination of species could result in such a distinctive yet mysterious being? Please feel free to share your thoughts. Next up is this odd footage that was taken across the street in the city. At first glance, you'll think the creature in view is a stray dog, but as the video plays out, you realize that it looks nothing like your everyday dog. Its body proportions do not fit the description of a regular dog, and it appears to be hairless, almost sharing the likeness of a Chupacabra. But what if it's not just sharing the likeness of the Chupacabra, but is actually one? As the video shows, it's seen munching on something, or should I say, sucking out its blood. And we all know who's infamous for feasting on livestock blood, right? None other than the good old Chuppy. Now, here's a $1 million question. Do you think that that's just some stray dog, or could it possibly be a real-life Chupacabra? Tell us in the comments section. We've seen the ghosts and spirits of humans more often than we can state on this channel, but what about animals? If anyone asked whether animals had ghosts, I would have laughed at the idea, but here's a video challenging that assertion. If you watch the video closely, you see an owl moving through the environment. At this moment, it looks like any other owl, but once the owl lifts off from the ground, we see what looks like a ghostly form of a bird lift off as well and fly in the opposite direction. Unlike the real bird that lands on the stump in front of it, the ghostly shadow disappears. If that's a ghost, what does that mean? Because the bird is still alive. Or could it be a spirit of that particular forest that takes the form of owls because they populate the area? Well, we can't say for sure, but it could also be another worldly creature taking the form of the bird. From a logical standpoint, we are stumped. There seems to be no explanation for this baffling footage. One possibility is that the camera could be reacting in peculiar ways under certain conditions. If that's the case, can any one of you explain? We'd like to read it in the comments section. Encountering the unknown can be both fascinating and disconcerting, and in this particular instance, a man stumbles upon a mysterious creature in a river.
What in the world you all? Well, we gonna get you out this water. Somebody let me know, what is this? This half turtle.
The creature has a body like a turtle and a face that mixes fish-like features with small black eyes, making it a distinct and possibly hybrid specimen. The combination of these characteristics leads to questions of its origin. Is it a hybrid of both worlds? A whimsical creation intended to merge the characteristics of both land and water animals? Or something entirely different? Without further details about the location, scientific examination, or expert analysis, it's challenging to ascertain the true nature of this enigmatic creature. Nature is known for its diversity, occasionally presenting us with surprises that challenge our understanding of the living world. What if, instead of nature, man created this thing? The deep sea remains one of the most mysterious and least explored environments on Earth. In this footage, a strange creature was observed resembling the shape of a sperm, but with a distinctive purple color. Interestingly, the creature doesn't have visible eyes, adding to its mysterious appearance. The absence of discernible eyes raises questions about the creature's sensory adaptations and how it navigates the darkness of the deep-sea environment. If any one of you aqua enthusiasts knows what this might be, please do share it with the rest of us in the comments section. The wild is not merciful to the weak, as they are typically prey. In the relentless pursuit of food, animals must be wary of becoming a meal themselves. In this trail cam footage, we see an opossum venturing into a hole in a massive rock, but it's not seeking shelter for the night. Unbeknownst to the possum, a crafty coyote lurks just above the rocks, eyeing its every move. As the coyote descends to claim its meal, the opossum skillfully disappears into the shadows within the rock. The predator's desperate gaze sweeps across every corner, but the elusive opossum remains elusive. I guess the opossum was lucky then, or was it? This photo was taken in the woods where no one was supposed to be living. Despite being a remote region, there was a hole in the ground shaped like a coffin. It was almost as though a grave had been dug out of the place, but whose grave? Although we don't have much info, conspiracy theories on what it might possibly be are flying all over the paranormal community. Some believe it's a coffin belonging to a vampire, whereas some claim the dead buried centuries ago had risen. All these sound ridiculous, but we currently have no logical explanations for the scenario. Do you? Take a look at this spectacle that happened in Russia. The clouds in the sky appeared to split in two, forming a clear blue path above. This sight has led to different interpretations and guesses from those who saw it. Even people who have scientific explanations are torn between two ideas. One idea suggests that the phenomena could be caused by using vibrations to push away water molecules in the air. This is considered a way of controlling the weather in a cold climate area using nature and human intervention to influence atmospheric conditions. The other party suggests that this is a natural atmospheric phenomena known as a fall streak hole or hole punch cloud. These formations happen when very cold water droplets in a cloud turn into ice crystals. These ice crystals then fall out of the cloud, making a hole or gap in the layer of clouds, in this case, a path in the clouds. However, some are convinced that this might be something beyond our comprehension, something more supernatural, albeit they can't say what exactly. What do you guys think of this? Still in the airy realm of the supernatural, a backyard security camera becomes an unwitting witness to a bone-chilling spectacle. In the middle of the day, in the bright sunlight, a dark figure quickly moves across the scene. Unlike fading smoke wisps, this appearance is much more mysterious. Yes, another dark entity. Usually we link paranormal sightings to nighttime situations, making people curious about this strange daytime appearance. Yet this looks like an exception. The unclear nature of the entity makes the mystery even bigger. Is it a harmful force, or maybe it's something completely different, possibly even something good? This footage was taken by someone who appears to be taking a walk in what looks like a jungle. As you can see, there's a lot of greenery around as the footage continues. Our adventurer explores further and comes across a bridge. But halfway through the bridge, this person catches something on camera. Did you see that? Right among the rocks, a little further away from the shallow river, you won't believe your eyes. There's a creature standing on two legs. At first glance, its posture seems human. But upon closer inspection, it becomes clear that this entity is anything but human. The entity was very skinny and green, making it appear camouflaged within its green surroundings. In contrast, its head is unusually large, adorned with two mysterious black dots that I can only assume are its eyes. If you subscribe to the paranormal, then you should know that it fits the description of what the community loves to call aliens. Could this creature be a scout for an incoming planned invasion? Share your thoughts with us. Although the first capture could be explained, we can't say the same for this footage. This was captured by individuals who were going through a path in the woods, hoping to capture glimpses of wildlife. As they drove deeper into the woods, spending a considerable amount of time, it seems that their hopes of spotting any wildlife were dwindling. Just as their hopes were fading, they spot something odd-looking in the distance. It looks like a creature covered in abundant fur, but here's the kicker. It's strolling on 2 feet, just like us humans. Even the nimblest chimps can't manage the grace and fluidity with which this creature moves. Stunned, they yearn to approach the creature for a closer look, but alas, it vanished from their sight, leaving an indelible mark on their minds. They get close and stop at the exact spot where they lost sight of the creature. At that moment, the realization dawned upon them. The creature had vanished into the woods. However, despite their intense curiosity, none of them mustered the courage to venture deeper in search of answers. I can't say I blame them given the odd-looking nature of what they'd seen. I'd be apprehensive too. But I want answers. What exactly was that? My team and I delved into research and made a fascinating discovery. The footage hails from New England in North America. Now, if you're familiar with the paranormal community, you'll know that this region is renowned for its numerous Bigfoot sightings. This leads us to a burning question. Had they narrowly missed seeing Bigfoot in its full glory? Tell us what you think in the comments section. A Reddit user went hiking with a partner and came across the bizarre and unexplained. On the hike, they took along with them a Polaroid camera to capture the fleeting moments of their journey. As they were walking through the forest, they encountered a peculiar post that was mounted on a path and labeled Dead End. The sign was put there because that path led to the highway. Curious about the spooky message, the couple took a picture of the post, hoping that it would embody the mysterious feeling of the journey. When the image was developed, however, the couple was shocked at what they saw. There was an actual ghostly apparition standing a little further away from the post. It was all black, yet was not a shadow. It was a dark human entity. The couple, confused by the sudden appearance of this mysterious thing, had questions on their minds. They didn't see this entity earlier when they took the photo, so how was it even possible? Most importantly, who or what could that be? Ghost of a victim who used that path, or maybe some mysterious being with unclear intentions. While exploring the depths of a mineshaft, an explorer records a fascinating sight, a sizable bird gliding through the confined space. Onlookers faced with uncertainty consider different possibilities. Some propose it might be an owl or a bat. Owls are nocturnal birds of prey that are adapted to low-light conditions, and they might seek shelter in areas like mineshafts during the day. Bats, being nocturnal as well, often roost in dark places during daylight hours. Yet the captivating nature of the video invites speculation. Could it be more than just a typical creature of the dark? What if there's something more ominous happening, hiding in the depths of the mine? If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do that now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these kinds of videos for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. Does this look like what I think it is? A T-Rex? You know, we shouldn't even be fazed by these sightings anymore. Back in the day, if I stumbled upon this trail cam footage, I'd debunk it without hesitation. But at this point, when scientists are trying to resurrect woolly mammoths, the likelihood of a dinosaur roaming around is not impossible. Technically speaking, though, that's not a T-Rex. It's too small to be. Instead, it's a Velociraptor, and although smaller, these things are no joke. Sure, it could be a hoax, but considering the remarkable progress of science, we might actually have a real-life Jurassic Park in just a few years, which sounds fun, but then could also spell doom for all humanity. Whether or not we bring back dinosaurs is a topic for another day. Today, we want to get to the bottom of this. Do you think it's real, or is this fake? Next up, we have this capture from Central Kentucky. It comes from a driver whose curiosity had exposed him to more than he'd anticipated and thought he could handle. Under the cover of the night, he decided to embark on a woodland escapade seeking a thrilling adventure. Little did he know, his exploration would lead him to an eerie and inexplicable sight, captured right before your eyes. It was a carcass of a creature he initially thought was a bear. He took a picture and got home, only to realize that it might not be a bear at all. If you look closely, you'll see a head that doesn't look canine in the least, a hunchback and a foot. He thought he'd discovered something interesting, a Bigfoot. That's how he, at least, uploaded it online. But is that really a Bigfoot? Admittedly, the head doesn't resemble that of a bear, but could decomposition be distorting its appearance? The same applies to the feet. They too show signs of decomposition. For the feet, bears do have feet as well, with 5 toes equipped with strong claws. The hunchback could only be because of its lying position. But what do you think, bear or Bigfoot? In the surreal landscapes near the Fresno Manizales route, an enigmatic spectacle unfurls near the formidable Cerro Bravo. An apparent crack in the rocks shows a strange glow inside, similar to what we see near active volcanoes about to erupt. Active or potentially active volcanoes can exhibit various signs, including emissions of gases, steam, or even incandescent material. Could this be one of those instances? Julius thinks so. Aaron, however, thinks the Earth gods are made and the hue is simply a confirmation of that. I'm leaning more toward Julius's explanation, as that sounds more plausible. Hopefully local authorities saw the video and took appropriate actions. If not, this would be nothing more than a ticking time bomb. In this unsettling footage from Haiti, captured by a surveillance camera, a seemingly routine visit to a convenience store takes a bizarre turn. As you can see, a man stands at the cashier ready to complete his purchase, and an unexplained force violently propels him to the floor. The impact is so forceful that he remains on the floor. In Haiti, beliefs in the supernatural and ancestral spirits are important, so the Haitian community, understanding spiritual matters, thinks that this might not just be an accident, but could be a type of spiritual payback or consequence for unknown actions. The footage is deemed legit, so it's hard to write it off as a hoax. As if we haven't had enough surprises today, take a look at this trail cam footage. Is this some kind of wildlife circus show? 3 mountain lions were captured moving on sticks. To be fair, it appears to be a fence, but it's still undeniably impressive. I still don't know what's going through their minds, but maybe they were having a hard time catching prey and decided to look around or perhaps wait and lure them in. No matter what, I bet circus masters and animal trainers would love to have this kind of spectacle in their shows. If this proves anything, it's that it's better to observe animals in their natural habitats than to confine them in circuses, where they're forced to perform tricks using cruel methods and training. What do you think? How would you respond when Google Street View shows you pictures of a suspicious-looking man in a mask, kneeling, instead of the remote serene woods you're hoping to see? Well, for the owner of the image, this is no hypothetical question. Google uses different methods and technology to make sure you get the best of its application, like Maps, Earth, and even the Street View. How then does something like this end up on Google Street View? Could there have been an error, or did the application actually capture a wicked and suspicious-looking man out there? Assuming the man is real, could it be cosplay, or is there a dangerous and possibly wicked, heartless man out there in the woods taking lives? While we may not know the exact location to verify this, what do you personally think? Is this real, or is it simply a hoax? Starting a day like any other, a man became fascinated by an unusual sight in the sky. Initially thinking the flying objects were just regular birds, maybe geese flying together, a closer look revealed a more puzzling story. Zooming in for a better view, the observer was met with a truly extraordinary scene. These creatures, far from the usual birds, had huge wings that looked like those of a bat, but on a massive scale. The sheer size and otherworldly appearance sparked imagination and curiosity, making people wonder about fantastical possibilities. Could these mysterious entities be dinosaurs or perhaps even dragons? These days, don't be shy to lean toward the supernatural or fiction because things are just so bizarre. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? Thank you very much. On the slopes of Wasatch Mountain, this unusual scene was recorded. A creature unknown to anyone was seen running on the steep mountainside. Mind you, at the time it had snowed heavily, so the mountain was steep and impossible for someone to run on it. This led them to believe that that could be a Bigfoot out there, so with that in mind, they sent a helicopter to search the mountain slopes for more evidence. As the helicopter circled overhead, there it was, a figure that matched the description of Bigfoot moving on the mountainside. While skeptics may explain the sightings as optical illusions or misinterpretations, enthusiasts and believers in cryptozoology find such evidence compelling. They see it as a step closer to unraveling the mystery surrounding these creatures. This footage gives me the creeps. Listen closely and you'll hear a woman's voice in the background, capturing what seems to be a typical scene with her son. At first glance, everything appears ordinary, but let's direct our attention to the tree behind the boy, just beyond the motorcycle. Did you see that? Take a look again. Was that a limb? What could that be? Initially, I considered it a snake or a prankster, but upon closer inspection, it becomes apparent that the mysterious figure emerging from behind the tree is covered in hair. Snakes are scaly and humans seldom have hair on their hands. What then could it be? A juvenile Bigfoot, an ape, or a pombero? We'll leave that up to you to decide. This image just sends shivers down my spine. The idea of the Wolfman actually existing is a nightmare to many people, yet here's an image that might just prove that they do exist. In the image, we see a dog-furred beast with somewhat human features. The posture of the headshot makes it seem to appear to be standing on two legs. As much as the image seems frighteningly real, deep down, I had a hunch that it might just be a costume, and it turns out I was right. Despite some attempts to present it as a paranormal creature sighting, our investigations revealed that it actually belonged to a popular costume maker, putting an end to the mystery and the excitement surrounding the image. Bummer. Next, we have footage from a homeowner whose everyday review of her camera footage led to something rather disturbing. In the footage, you can see the woman walking away from the house, presumably leaving the premises. However, what happens next is anything but ordinary. As soon as she is out of sight, a ghostly figure materializes into view, seemingly from thin air. This spectral entity moves with otherworldly grace, nonchalantly passing by the trash cans before making its way into the house. Why does this ghost visit? Is it a wandering spirit looking for comfort? Could it be someone who lived on the property, or did it come with something more malevolent in its plans? It's hard to say, but the strange way it comes in, waiting for the homeowner to leave, makes the mystery even more mysterious, if you know what I mean. A trail camera in the woods took an unusual picture, showing a blurry shape hovering above the ground. The mysterious nature of this image has led to different interpretations among viewers. Some suggest a simple explanation, saying the blurry figure might be a moth, considering its relatively small size. On the other hand, a more supernatural view has come up, especially because of where the picture was taken, on a property in Missouri on a small rock burial mound. There are many speculations, with some considering the possibility that this ghostly presence could be some kind of entity silently moving through the mysterious landscape captured by the trail camera. Do giant spiders exist? If you answered no, how do you explain this? Yes, what you're seeing on your screen is an actual blanket of spiderwebs. A group of individuals walked into the forest and found various trees covered in spiderwebs, something that we might have relegated to fiction in the past. If I were there, I'd freak out thinking some ancient giant spider was lurking. I'd probably run for my life. Interestingly, the people who stumbled upon this place had the exact same thought. I mean, if there was a spider capable of putting such giant trees in a web, then it certainly had to be big. But fortunately for them, they never encountered anything deadly or dangerous. Scientists carefully examined the footage and conducted on-site investigations. After testing the web, they came up with a new hypothesis. They stated that instead of one giant spider, the web could have come from thousands of smaller spiders who may have multiplied due to an abundance of food during the summer. What do you think, though? Next up, we have this trail cam capture from the year 2013, captured in North Carolina, which is quite disturbing and a little bit sad. In the image on your screen, you can see what looks like a little girl running through the woods. But why is this image so sad and disturbing? If you take a closer look at the image, you'll realize that her arms do not look normal, almost as if they're deformed in some way, and despite her having her head and face, she does look faceless. There are many that believe that we may be dealing with a ghost or spirit of some sort. If this is true, does that mean that this little girl was killed in the woods? Possibly got lost or kidnapped and killed there. Well, we can't say for sure, but anytime I see ghost images of kids in the woods, I can't help but get sad. Who knows what horrors they might have had to endure. This might be the reason why they are trapped in the woods and not able to find peace. It makes me wish that they're not true. Speaking of being false, there are some who argue that perhaps the quality of the image could account for the discrepancies. While that sounds plausible, there are too many things wrong to think the quality of the image is the problem. But as always, what do you think? Tell us in the comments section. In an unusual scene in Africa, a man comes across a tree that is different from the usual ones. This tree has eggs instead of the typical fruits. The man then picks these unusual eggs from the branches and brings them inside for a closer look. When he cracks open the eggs, a surprising discovery is made. There are seeds inside the shells. Undeterred, the man decides to cook these unconventional eggs by frying them in hot oil. The process unfolds similar to regular eggs, leaving viewers both intrigued and puzzled. This whimsical event brings a mix of amusement and skepticism, as the man seems to have a tree that produces eggs. I mean, he's got a literal eggplant in his house. Either that, or it's sorcery, or a fake. Take a look at this footage. A man claims to have seen this strange-looking creature in his pond. Seeing it is one thing, but this man actually runs to catch it with a net. The strange-looking thing has a semblance of a turtle. It also looks like a human child in a turtle costume, if you ask me. It brings to mind the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but how could such things be? Honestly, I think this is a hoax. I mean, the possibilities of it being a hoax are endless. It could be a person in a costume or CGI. What do you think? This picture surfaced on the internet in 2019. It's an unclear photo of a black-furred creature standing by a tree about 6 to 7 feet tall. As usual, this caught the attention of the paranormal community, which wasted no time investigating the photo with the mystery animal in it. To do this, they enhanced the dark and blurry photo, after which they were ready to go. Despite sharing many features with the black bear and apes, the mystery creature was not at all similar to these animals when compared side by side. For instance, the creature lacked the pointed nose and snout of a bear. Its arms were also way longer than that of a bear. When it came to the ape, the comparison didn't fare any better. Based on the results, it became evident that they were not dealing with either of these animals. What then were they dealing with? It certainly had to be Bigfoot. What do you think? Do you believe in the existence of the dark creatures of the night? If your answer was no, then how do you explain what was caught on this trail camera late at night? The owner of this trail cam had set it up hoping to capture wildlife, but as you and I know, it doesn't always turn out like that, and this is one of those circumstances. In the trail cam footage, we see the shadow of a creature in the grass. Although the creature is out of frame, its shadow is not. All things being equal, this shouldn't be a problem, but taking a closer look at the silhouette of the creature, the owner of the camera couldn't figure out what animal it was, as it didn't fit any of the wildlife in the area. To make matters worse, the footage ends as soon as the creature walks into frame. Naturally, this makes him apprehensive and causes his imagination to run wild. Do you have an idea what we could be looking at? Have you encountered a similar situation? Please tell us in the comment section. Now, these things you see were captured in the sky. They are two round patches of white cloud-looking things in the sky. These strange things keep blinking rays toward the Earth. They look like some sort of portals. However, an interesting observation is made. The footage seems to have been taken through a glass window. This leads some to theorize that what appears to be otherworldly portals could be reflections rather than genuine celestial phenomena. What do you think? In a peculiar encounter captured on footage, a curious individual stumbles upon a shelled creature resembling a crab.
Yo, what the fuck is this thing? Crab? Coral?
As the observer approaches the creature, it emits a peculiar sound, creating an unusual auditory experience. Simultaneously, the camera captures vibrations and becomes blurred. Some who have seen the footage believe that the creature wields electromagnetic powers. Looking at the footage, I'm tempted to think the same.
Crab? Coral?
What do you guys think, though? Is this one of those cases, or am I seeing stuff that isn't there? The magical world of insects introduces another wonder, the pink wing phasma. This captivating creature, part of the phasmid family, possesses a special charm that mesmerizing those lucky enough to come across it. With gentle grace, the insect rests on the observer's palm, displaying its detailed wings adorned with a subtle pink tint. Feeding on the leaves of different eucalypt tree species, these creatures mainly inhabit the expansive landscape of Australia. The intricate patterns and captivating colors on its wings turn this already intriguing insect into a living masterpiece, encouraging us to appreciate the beauty of nature's creations. One look at this and paranormal enthusiasts might speculate it's a cursed creature, a skinwalker, or a shapeshifter. But let me burst your bubble. It's simply a deformed goat. Meet this remarkable goat born without its hind legs, yet thriving and living just like any other farm animal in China. Experts believe that this deformity may have been caused by a calcium-phosphorus imbalance due to the mother's pregnancy or other complications. Most younglings do not even make it out of the womb alive, and if they do, they barely survive a week. But this little guy here happens to be among the strong few. The deformed animal can move gracefully and balance itself on its front legs without a problem. Just look at this little guy go. This is a miracle on two legs. Have you ever had to turn your neck in an awkward position to look at something? Well, this image, which surfaced in the year 2017, is the visual representation of that action. The deer's neck is so awkwardly positioned that everyone thinks it might be a Photoshop. Others in the paranormal community, however, do not share this sentiment. They believe that there could be something more ominous happening here, and that perhaps the creature could have been in the transformation phase when the picture was taken. What do you think? Is it real, photoshopped, or some sort of demonic transformation? Let us know in the comments section. Did you know that bobcats were good climbers? Well, if you didn't, now you do. The first few seconds of this video have already established that fact. In the trail cam footage, we see a bobcat chasing after a squirrel that seems to have gone up the tree. Under normal circumstances, this should have cemented the escape for the squirrel. At least that's what would have been the case if it were being chased by a coyote or a fox. Not bobcats, though. They too can climb. And they most especially put their climbing skills to good use when they're hunting prey. The bobcat didn't just climb the tree, but also went as far as circling it with the goal of catching the squirrel for a meal. Bobcats are known to be very good climbers, especially when it comes to hunting their prey. This particular bobcat demonstrates this by effortlessly climbing the tree and chasing after the squirrel. Beyond the climb, the bobcat has no problem circling the trunk of the tree just to have its lunch. I didn't even think that was possible. It ended up becoming a hide-and-seek game between the two. Lucky squirrel. Next up, we have another capture from a trail cam in the woods. In this motion trail capture, we see an ape-like creature walking through the woods as though it were no one's problem. But once you start taking a critical look at the creature, you soon realize that it's no ape at all. It's longer arms than you'd expect from a traditional ape, and it's moving in a way apes do not naturally move. Its movements almost look human-like, which the most skilled chimpanzee would not be capable of emulating. What's more, the area within which the footage was taken has no apes in the region. There is only one explanation, the sighting then, Bigfoot. But what do you think? I know we've featured the dog man on this channel before, but I'm not sure we've done so with a video as spine-chilling as this. Two guys were staying in an isolated cabin in the woods when they started hearing strange and ungodly sounds. Curious and worried, they stepped out and their security cam captured what you see on your screen. If you pay attention to the footage, you'll see a large creature appear on the left side of the screen. It looks like it's got big forearms and a bigger body to match. The video quality is so bad you can't really tell what you're looking at. Some members of the online paranormal community, however, think it's a wounded grizzly, whilst others think it's a werewolf. But a majority believe that we could be definitely looking at a dog man. I want to believe it's one of these, preferably the dog man, but as I keep watching the video over and over, the excitement wanes and it's replaced by a lot of questions. Why did the video end so abruptly if it's real? Why do the creature's movements look a little unnatural? Is this an elaborate hoax to deceive dogman enthusiasts? So many questions. But what do you think? In the wild, usually the predators have the upper hand over prey, but that doesn't mean that these predators are safe from other predators. This coyote learned that the hard way. This trail cam footage shows a coyote roaming through the forest when all of a sudden a lynx appears behind it and attacks. The two animals go at each other's throats with the lynx swiping its sharp claws and the coyote relying on its fast jaws. All things being equal, the two predators will avoid each other if possible. But when resources are scarce, the lynx wastes no time in defending its territory or killing invaders. This is probably what's happening in this footage. Fortunately for the coyote, however, it has the opportunity to escape with its life, knowing very well that it stood no chance against the lynx in a one-on-one battle. I'm pretty sure the coyote will be very careful the next time it ventures into unfamiliar territory. In this footage, this coyote doesn't get attacked, instead the perceived prey runs from it. Although the relationship between the two is complex, there's no way a single raccoon would survive against a coyote. It'll essentially become its prey. It's therefore no surprise that the raccoon started climbing up the tree once it spotted the coyote coming. It's not taking any chances. Unlike our curious friend from earlier, this little guy here might have mastered the art of manipulating gadgets because the raccoon looks to be posing for a selfie using the trail cam. I've learned to expect a lot of things from these raccoons over the years, but a trail cam selfie isn't one of them. Watch as it looks straight into the camera with two majestic bucks grazing in the background. It takes creativity to a whole new level. Beware, O ye models and influencers of Instagram, this raccoon is coming for your jobs. While on a plane, someone filmed the sun setting. Take a good look at it and you'll realize it's not at all very normal. To start with, the sun was pink, which is a sight to behold. It's quite common for the sun to appear pink or even red during a sunset. This happens because the Earth's atmosphere acts as a filter, scattering the blue and green wavelengths of light and allowing the longer wavelengths like red and pink to pass through more easily. The colors you see during sunset can vary depending on the location, weather, and time of year. For example, if there are a lot of pollutants or dust particles in the air, the sun may appear more orange or even brown. And during the winter months, the sun can appear more pink or purple as the angle of the Earth's tilt changes and affects the way the sun's light passes through the atmosphere. While the color is an interesting one, you must agree that the sun sets in a rather unconventional way. It's almost as though it's disappearing into the earth. What do you guys make of that? And that concludes today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Oh yeah, before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.